Understanding warm-up regulators. Now, before I begin, I have a question. I understand that some people are more interested in technical content and some people are more interested in non-technical content, more about the business aspect or the psychological aspect of running a Mercedes repair shop. If you're more interested in the technical aspect, I would like to see if, a couple, like 100 or so new subscribers after this video. That sends me a clear message that you guys really do want more technical content. And after this hot summer passes, hopefully we'll be able to deliver that. But if you don't, then I guess I won't see an uptick in my subscriber count. Simplest way to know, right? Today we're going to talk about warm-up regulators. And I understand that many of you who own diesels are like, I don't care about this. But if you own a Mercedes with K-Jetronic fuel injection made between 1976 and 1985, this is going to be a very important video because there are many Mercedes driving around out there, particularly if you have a European market car, that have an incorrect warm-up regulator. So we're going to learn today what you need to do to determine that. So first of all, if you look at a warm-up regulator, you're going to see a little Bosch number stamped along the top here. And this number is followed by a stamped code with 3 digits. This one is a 156. 156 means on this part of the warm-up regulator, you will see a Bosch number followed by a 3-digit stamped code. And the code will be in a different type of font than your Bosch number. Now, what is this code? Well, in this case, this warm-up regulator is a code 156, and I think that's for a 380 SL. But there are a bunch of different warm-up regulators. For example, a 101 code warm-up regulator would be for a 1981 to 85 500 SL, 500 SE, or 500 SEL. However, it's not for a 500 SLC. Interesting. A 1978 or 79 450 SL would use an 061. An early 6.9 would use a 010 or a 056. There are many different warm-up regulator codes, and all of these codes are unique to the vehicles that they were supplied on. So some European market cars typically have different codes than US market cars. The model year and the emissions requirements for each model year could also influence the warm-up regulator code. So don't assume all 380 SLs have the same warm-up regulator. I think the first 2 years of production, 81 and 82, had a different warm-up regulator than 83 to 85. Now, you can sometimes swap warm-up regulators around and get very, very little noticeable change in how the engine runs. The way that warm-up regulators influence, the way they influence Mercedes engines and the way that Mercedes gas engines run with these things, I could probably describe like this. When you have a warm-up regulator failure, the engine simply won't idle because the fuel pressures are too high. When you have a warm-up regulator that is not calibrated properly, the engine will probably not run as smoothly or have as much power, particularly during warm-up phase. When you have a warm-up regulator that's not quite right for the car, you might get black smoke causing rich running or extremely lean running. And then last, you may notice that it negatively impacts fuel economy. And that's the most subtle difference that I can tell you about. When you have the wrong warm-up regulator and the warm-up regulator isn't isn't perfect for your engine, yes, it will cause some either loss of economy or loss of power. And people say, yeah, you could swap some warm-up regulators around, and it's true. When you dig through the EPC, you'll find that, for example, the version for a 450 SEL 6.9 was subbed upward to a number that was never listed originally, that Mercedes designated for that and for some other applications, including, I think, 380 SLs. I know it sounds a little confusing, but you have to use that 3-digit code. Now, second, where are these 3-digit codes published? Where can you find these 3-digit codes? Well, they're in the technical data manuals. And if you go to Group 7, which is fuel system, and I believe it's section 7.3, you'll see that there are charts that show how the fuel mixture and fuel pressures are altered during warm-up sequences depending on outside temperature, mostly. And then there will be a section that says with governor number ending in, and in this case it would say 156. Having a technical data manual is a lot like having a physician's desk reference if you're working on older Mercedes. It is a book that has all this information that makes the whole car make sense. People look at other numbers in the car and they say, what does this mean? What do these numbers stamped in the back of the cams mean? Where can I find out more about these? Where do these numbers that I see that are, I don't know, stamped in the top of the pistons mean? What do all these numbers mean? Well, the technical data manual explains all of that. It literally explains what all those numbers are for. So if you want the cross-reference, you have to get a TDM or technical data manual that is relevant for your classic Mercedes. Third, what happens when warm-up regulators act up? Well, warm-up regulators are influenced by a couple of things. The first thing that influences them is the cleanliness of the fuel system. So if you have a dirty fuel system, particularly a dirty, rusty gas tank, it will plug up your warm-up regulator and cause major problems with how your car runs. And it may be difficult to flush out. That's why when you get a car that's been sitting for a long time, it's very important to clean the fuel system, the fuel tank, before you try to run the car. Yet a lot of people try to run the car without doing any repairs to the fuel tank at all. The second thing, of course, is how well the engine's vacuum system works. So on this warm-up regulator for this 380, there's a port right here that's a relatively large vacuum port, and this is connected to the intake, and this port is responsible for adjusting the mixture of the car based on manifold vacuum. On an M110 engine, in fact, if this port gets severed, if the line gets severed, the engine won't even run. On a car like a 1985 380 SL, I've had many people try to fix other problems on their 380 without observing the fact that the vacuum line going to this port was split wide open. So you always have to verify that your vacuum line routings are correct. Now, where can you get the vacuum line routings for a car like this? There are a couple of different places. One of them would be the introduction to service for each model year. So if you have a 78 model 450 SL, you use the 78 introduction to service. It'll have a vacuum diagram in it if anything has changed. You use your engine manual, so your 3.5 or 4.5 engine manual, or your 3.8, 5.0 engine manual. A lot of the problems that people blame on warm-up regulators are often other things like injectors that leak down. Warm-up regulator failure will never cause difficulty hot starting the car. I should say almost never, but it's extremely rare. That's something people often do. They assume that because they're having hot starting issues, they change the warm-up regulator. The warm-up regulator won't cause hot starting issues. Now, people wonder how to measure the pressure of K-Jetronic. There are two ports on here. This is the return port, and this is the supply port. And you have to somehow find a way to tee in a fuel line right here into this port whether you use a banjo or whether you replace the line coming to this from the fuel distributor with a rubber line, something you have to get a fuel pressure reading off of this line. And often what you'll find is when everything's working right, the line pressure will be about 5 bar to 5.2 bar when the car is cold. And as it warms up, it'll gravitate to 5.3, 5.4, or even 5.5 bar. Now, some warm-up regulators are more influenced by manifold vacuum than others. If you have a 230E, that is completely not influenced by manifold vacuum. It's the most simple warm-up regulator you can get. It has no vacuum fittings. Meanwhile, if you have a 380 SL, vacuum is 100% responsible for the governing of the warm-up regulator. Anyway, all this to say that if you have a Mercedes with K-Jetronic injection, there is a way to make your engine run better, run more optimally and efficiently, and that could be part of the warm-up regulator's job. And it could be due to a deficiency in the warm-up regulator. So, if you enjoyed this video and it was helpful, let's see some more subscribers and enjoy working on your K-Jetronic system.